It's July 2nd. It's time for the item report. Yes, maybe, who knows? Maybe football's fast approaching. Who knows? I think it's a lot less likely we have college football than we have NFL. NFL, they have already canceled 2 preseason games. Hall of Fame game has been canceled. But I think we'll see NFL this year in some way, shape, or form. We will preview the AFC East tonight, and that kind of changed my projections. I had to change my projections a little bit based on the New England Patriots signing Cam Newton. But college, that's another story. College kind of needs fans in the seats, especially in a lot of these Group 5 schools that are not exactly flushed with money. So they don't really exactly have the luxury of playing football without spectators, as the smaller colleges need the college football revenue to survive. So we'll get to that in a moment here, as we will preview the American Athletic Conference football, or as they know it as the Power Six. But this is usually one of the strongest of the non-Power 5 conferences, and this is going to be a very competitive AAC football season coming up. Baseball started summer camps. Haven't heard too many more infections as of yet. So far, so good. But who knows? The bad news is 25 NBA players have tested positive for COVID-19. And Adam Silver says there's a possibility of either relocating the bubble to Chicago. They are using Chicago as a second bubble as of right now for the non-invites. With the cases spiking as bad as they are in Florida, Adam Silver should be giving Chicago considerations as an alternate bubble. They will have to find some other arenas besides United Center. They could use the University of Illinois as one court. They could find ways to make it work in the Chicagoland area. But right now, with the cases as bad as they are in Florida, I don't know. MLS is looking like their restart is in real jeopardy, as a lot of MLS players in the last few days have tested positive for COVID-19. Florida, in the state of Florida, just today, 10,000 new cases in the state of Florida. It's not looking good for a restart in Florida. I honestly think sports in Florida, hockey's got it right. The only sport's really gotten it right so far with the bubble has been NHL. They've chosen Edmonton and Toronto for their hub cities. That is a very smart move. Canada has done a much better job than the United States with COVID-19. But as in terms of colleges, this is where I think COVID-19 is going to get a victim, and it's going to be college football. A lot of schools now with the spike in cases, a lot of colleges are now backtracking back to doing virtual learning this fall, and that's not a bad idea. And the virus is accelerating worse than ever right now. It is like a Category 5 hurricane. So it's very bad. This virus is just awful. I don't see there a way to be college sports until there's a vaccine. And honestly, can they have NFL this year? Time will tell. Hopefully we can. At this point, the states need to get mitigation measures ready to go, like wearing masks. Texas finally issued a mask order today. That's going to help. But 4th of July activities, I think that's going to be another spike right there. But let's talk some college football. The AAC conference tonight, which is usually one of the better group of 6 schools in college football. Start off where I think is going to be last place. That's the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Tulsa is kind of fighting for their life in FBS football. They don't have a big football budget. And the COVID could force Tulsa to be another school that drops down to the FCS, or the Football Championship subdivisions. Speaking of the AAC, they did lose one conference member this year. UConn is now an independent, and they could be another school that's going to have to drop back to FCS due to COVID-19. But they have the lowest undergrad enrollment, and just granted, Tulsa's shoestring budget's why they're going to probably be towards the cellar. And then in 10th place, I'm going to go with the East Carolina ECU Pirates. Maybe they can get to 5-7, 6-6. The ECU Pirates, they usually, and I think it'll be again, ECU will be closer to the cellar than the top. 9th place, I'm going to go with the University of South Florida. South Florida right now just got rid of right now is buying out a huge contract and got rid of Charlie Strong, pulled the plug last year on Charlie Strong in South Florida. It was good at first, and then year 2, the wheels fell off at USF. A change was made. Now coaching at USF is Jeff Scott. And now it's going to be on recruiting. But looks like USF is going to take a year or 2 to get back. But if they can find a way to 6-6, that's all that matters at USF. Try to hang around with the big boys. And then in 8th place, going with the Temple Owls. They had some flashes last year. But the bad news is their defense did lose a lot of seniors. So that's an area of concern for Temple. But they do have Anthony Russo. They have Ramon Davis, Jadon Blue, and Brandon Mack. Temple is another one. I think they'll some way somehow get to. I kind of got them at the 5-7, 6-6 range this year for Temple. And I'll go with 7th place, Tulane. And their offense and defense were pretty good. And they've won back-to-back bowl games for the first time in program history. So Tulane's an up-and-coming college football program. Now they got Keon Howard. We'll see how he does at Tulane. But I think probably somewhere around 7-5 or 8-4 for Tulane. Houston, I think this is a year where this is, I think, year 2 or year 3 of Dana Holgorsen at Houston. There is going to be a little bit of expectations for Houston to get to a bowl game. Dana Holgorsen has kind of disappointed since coming from West Virginia to Houston. And now they've got Derek King. We'll see if Derek King can be the guy to get Houston back on track, but the defense has never been a strong suit of Dana Holgorsen. I kind of think right now, realistically, Houston might be a 6-6 team. And Houston's one of those schools where they actually are trying to get to that group of five. Usually they want to get to the group of five bid. They don't want to be a middle tier, mid-major school. Houston being a big media market, they do one day want to join the Big 12. But I don't know if Dana Holgorsen's the answer, and I think a 6-6 season, maybe it buys Dana Holgorsen a little bit more breathing room. But if he doesn't get to the playoffs, I kind of think Dana Holgorsen will be on the hot seat at Houston. And then in fourth place, I've got the Navy midshipmen. Coming off an 11-win season, but Malcolm Perry is gone and the triple threat quarterback is gone. So I do think Navy is going to take a bit of a step back this season because they did lose a lot of seniors this year. So losing Malcolm Perry is going to hurt Navy this year. But I think Cam Tololo is going to find a way to rattle wins. Maybe they get to. I think they'll take a step back to something like 8-4, 7-5. But they're not going to be I don't expect another 11-win season this year. And then you've got the SMU Mustangs in third place. In fourth place, and fifth place is Navy. SMU probably going to be in fourth place this year. They've got a great offense. They've got Shane Bichelle. They can win shootouts. Unfortunately, their kryptonite is the defense. But I do think SMU, they're good, but I don't know if they're good enough to be in the upper tier of the AAC this year. That defense is what I think is what is going to hold down SMU this season. Third place, I kind of say it's going to be the Memphis Tigers. Memphis lost Mike Norvell to Florida State and replaced him with an in-house hire. I don't know. Norvell, we'll get to Mike Norvell next week when I preview the ACC and Florida State's culture change going on. I think Memphis is going to take a bit of a step back this year. Ryan Silverfield, they are in good hands with Ryan Silverfield. Brady White will be back. Kenneth Gainwell will be back. So the offense will not be back. They did lose a bit of defense. But I do think it's going to be a small step back for Houston. For Memphis, I don't know if Memphis will make it back to the championship game this year. But Memphis is going to take a small step back. They're not going to get to a group of five bowl, but they'll go to a nice bowl this year. And Memphis is still kind of becoming slowly the class of the group of five football teams. In second place, I've got the UCF Knights. UCF is looking for revenge against Cincinnati. They've got at home. And of course, playing at UCF is always a difficult place for the road team. Do they get back into the title? My heart says, my gut says no. I say no. No, I don't think UCF. They'll finish second, but I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to win the AAC this year, but I do think UCF is going to lose. Maybe they're going to be they're certainly going to be a 10-win school this year. I will say that. But I think they're going to lose 1 or 2 games this year, and that's all right. And my choice for the winner of the AAC, the Cincinnati Bearcats. Luke Fickell has done a great job turning around Cincinnati, and they capitalized it last year in the Birmingham Bowl, beating up on Boston College. Cincinnati looks like the team that I think this might be the best Cincinnati team since Brian Kelly coached at Cincinnati. They've got Mackenzie Milton. We'll see if they've got Dylan Gabriel, who's a great quarterback. We'll see if Mackenzie Milton can come back or not. But Luke Fickell has done a great job. I think this is the year Cincinnati wins the AAC. They will be a contender this year to earn the Group of 5 bid. And I think Luke Fickell is going to be the guy a lot of college football programs will be looking at as the next hot coach hire in the next coaching cycle in college football. So I'm going with the Cincinnati Bearcats to win the AAC this year. Now on to the NFL. This week we are previewing the AFC East. We'll go from 4th place to 1st. In 4th place, I've got the Miami Dolphins. They might, I think maybe they get 5 wins, 6 wins. I think Brian Flores is a very good coach. They didn't have the greatest of drafts in Miami. But they did find their franchise quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. Should Tua play this season? No. Tua is coming off an injury. I kind of want to see Tua redshirt the season. I would like to see Miami possibly give Colin Kaepernick a workout. Do you really want to spend the whole season with Ryan Fitzpatrick? Sometimes he's Fitz magic. Sometimes he's Fitz tragic. But I think Miami's eyes are on the future. They will certainly be in the market again next year for another high draft pick as they continue their rebuild. But Miami's probably going to be in the cellar, 5-11, 4-12, 6-10. And if they're smart, Tua redshirts the season, and we don't he rehabs and becomes your starting quarterback in 2021. Miami's angling for 2021. This is a throwaway year in Miami. Flores has nothing to lose. In a close battle for the cellar, the New York Jets. There are a lot more questions than answers with the New York Jets. Jamal Adams certainly wants out of New York. And of course, my boys, the Niners. I think he wants to go to the Niners in a trade. But the Niners would have to clear cap space for Adams. The question is going to be for Jamal Adams is, does he hold out in training camps this year? And I think the answer is yes. I think we will see Jamal Adams hold out in training camp this year. So that's what I've got for Jamal Adams. He holds out. And how much buy-in do the Jets offense get from Adam Gase this year? I kind of feel like Gase may be more in over his head in New York. But I don't think his seat is going to be as hot as people think. New York can't keep cycling coaches. The Jets, it is a difficult spot to coach. But I do think Sam Darnold's on the hot seat this year. If Darnold fails, well, you kind of don't want to put Flacco there, but they brought in Joe Flacco to back up Sam Darnold this season. And they did bring in former 49er Frank Gore. Question is, can Denzel Mims be the go-to wide receiver can Mims be that safety blanket for Sam Darnold? Problem is, Mims is prone to dropping passes. But this is year 3 of Sam Darnold. Question 1, can Sam Darnold stay healthy? He's gotten hurt the last couple seasons. Question 2, can he be consistent? The big issue is you got Le'Veon Bell. So you got Frank Gore, so that puts a bit of a pressure off of Darnold. So it looks like they're going to rely more on running the football with Gore and Le'Veon Bell in New York. Wide receiver, a bit of a concern. They lost Robbie Anderson. They really don't have a true number 1 wide receiver in New York. Chris Herndon is looking like a potential star. We'll see if Becton can help Sam Darnold from being sacked. That's another question. And then can CJ Mosley rebound from injuries? If things go well, I don't think the Jets will be a playoff team. Not yet, but I do think if they get some consistency, I kind of think 8-8. 8-8 might be good enough for Adam Gase to come back for year number 3. If things start going south, if Bell continues to regress, if Perriman blows up, or if Mims' issues of dropping the football, that might be adios for Adam Gase, and does Darnold survive for a third head coach? But I think for the Jets, consistency is what's going to be key. I kind of think they're going to be where they were last year. Probably going to be around 6-10 or 7-9. The team that put themselves in second place, the New England Patriots. They're not going to be as good as they were during the Brady years, but Cam Newton won't be asked to carry the offense like he was over there in Carolina. And I think New England's going to rely on running the football this season with Cam Newton. Can Newton find chemistry with Julian Edelman? And also, of course, New England usually has a pretty solid defense. Certainly Josh McDaniels. That's going to be the guy that could play to Cam Newton's strengths. Best case, Cam Newton stays healthy. New England maintains their reign of terror as their AFC East reign of terror. Worst case scenario, Cam gets hurt. We see Jared Stidham struggles. But also, the Patriots signing Cam Newton kind of rings alarm bells as in terms of Jarrett Stidham. Is Stidham going to be the guy in 2021? Or say the Patriots don't make the playoffs or get bounced early? Will 2021 finally be the year Bill Belichick drafts a quarterback? I kind of think Cam Newton actually makes New England a wild card team. I don't think they'll win the division, but they're still going to be a wild card team, maybe a 6 or the new 7 seed. And I do think the Patriots always have a fighting chance with Bill Belichick. And I think Josh McDaniels will do what he can to make Cam Newton successful in New England. And your AFC East winner. For a longest time, it's been the New England Patriots, but not this year. I kind of think Josh Allen takes another step up in progress. The Buffalo Bills will be your 2020 AFC East winners. I think they've got the best defense. And you've got Josh Allen, who is progressing strongly as a quarterback. I expect a lot of good things from Josh Allen in 2020. And of course, the Buffalo Bills can run the football. Receiving, the big question for the Bills is, best case scenario, Stephon Diggs becomes the go-to guy for Josh Allen. Worst case scenario, Diggs continues to be a prima donna over in Buffalo. Buffalo has got a very tough defense. But I think Buffalo will be around 10-6, 11-5. I can't wait to see Buffalo and New England battle it out this year. Those are going to be fun games this year. But this will be their first division, and Zach Moss, we'll see if, and another Key of Buffalo's success this year is if Zach Moss can be the bell cow for the Buffalo Bills. And this will be the first time Buffalo will win a division since some guy named Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas were playing for the Buffalo Bills, and Marv Levy was coaching the Bills. Happy days are here again in Buffalo, and I am very looking forward this year to seeing the Patriots and the Bills. Those are going to be some great games this year. But we'll see if NFL starts on time. College, I kind of think we're thinking spring. Next week's previews will be the AFC North and the ACC. So everybody have a good 4th of July. Listen, try to stay home for 4th of July. Please don't go pack the beaches this year. It's with cases of COVID spiking as bad as they are, your best bet is to stay home, stay within your social bubble for 4th of July. Most importantly, wear the mask when you're out lighting fireworks this year. You could potentially contract COVID from fireworks smoke. We're going to find out a lot about that this weekend. But err on the side of caution. Wear that mask. Hang with only people in your household or within your social bubble. Limit your time of mixing households this weekend. Just keep in mind, COVID is like a Category 5 hurricane right now. And right now, these ICUs are just not in good shape to hold any more people. Be safe this 4th. God bless you. Good night.